Do you believe tarot card readings are true? How can the group or non-specific readings be true for everyone? Great question. I love tarot cards. I didn't before. I thought they were like Ouija boards. And if you haven't read my book, Angels, Herpes, and Psychedelics, you'll see how I stumbled into tarot cards after being really resistant. Like, oh my gosh, they're like, speaking with spirits, and I don't want to do that. Um, Tarot cards were very helpful to me many years ago, and I'm a big fan now. But I don't rely on tarot cards. I don't rely on any cards. You know what I rely on is my higher self and my connection to that. And that is what this show is all about, is to get us through any of these relationship distractions and or most importantly, the lessons, right, that are coming forward through these relationships that we have to love and to life and to work and to colleagues and family and friends and lovers. Tarot cards can be very true for everybody, but remember when you're doing like a group reading, when you're maybe online, you're listening to somebody who's doing like, what's the reading for January for Gemini? um, I've done this before where I have a lot of Gemini friends and I'm a Gemini, and we compare notes like, hey, did that resonate for you? I was like, oh my God, I was spot on. And I'm thinking, how can it be spot on for you when it was spot on for me? And so that's the fun and the beauty of it all wrapped up into one, is that because we all view things from a different lens, there's some similarities about like some of the bigger aspects that are happening, but then there's the lens of yours of which you see it differently. So, that whole, I guess, I don't know, you've probably heard this analogy before where somebody, comes into a store, robs the store, and leaves. And the 5 witnesses or the 3 witnesses all have a different description of the person, but they all saw the same person, right? It was the same person that robbed the store, but they all saw something different because they were seeing it through their lens of perception. And that's what's happening with tarot cards and group readings, is that there's still something in each reading that resonates for each person just slightly differently because of their lens of which they're viewing it. So yes, reading the whole energetic field, you're going to find some tidbits and some snippets that are valuable to you, and so is your other fellow zodiac signs. So they can be very legit. It also, it depends upon the reader, because the reader, and this is also another really important thing, they put their lens on the cards that they're flipping, right? So that's why different tarot card readers have sometimes some similarities, but sometimes some differences, right? Because their lens of perception is different. And so they're going to see different cards in different ways. But oftentimes, if you look at it, the themes are there. And it's interesting how it happens. And everyone has free will. So just because a tarot card person says that this is what's going to happen, da da da, or you have this opportunity for, a new partner or money or career or whatever, it's still about what choices you are making in your reality and the free will that you are exercising. So they're windows of opportunity. So let me end with that on tarot cards, that tarot cards are really an incredible guide for us. They guide us with some pockets of energy and timing in our life that something might be optimal. So for example, you could plant a tulip. Oh gosh, I think I say these analogies wrong, but you could plant a tulip at the wrong time of year and it's not going to come up, right? So, or a spring flower that you have to plant in April. If you plant it in December in North Dakota, it's not going to come up, right? So there's optimal times when the energies and all of the systems that are invisible to us are aligned. It's a go. And sometimes when they're not aligned, it's like, no, just sit back, let the magic of Mother Nature take its course and the energies and the planets, and then the time will come later. So that's where tarot cards can be really, really great, because they provide some guidance, that gives us just some of the openings and some of the times when we can take action or maybe just sit back. And so it does provide us some incredible guidance. So I would love to hear what you think, and if you have any favorite tarot card readers, please put them in the comments below. I certainly have mine, so if you want to know who mine are, I'm happy to share them, but I want to hear from you first. Let me know that you want them, and I'll put them in the comments or send them to you in a message. Thank you for your questions. Your questions are everyone else's questions in some way, shape, or form. There's so much to glean from one another that I really encourage you, even if it's not your question, but it's something you're like, yeah, I see a lot of people pondering this. Please submit the question. You can submit it here on YouTube in the comments below, and go to bethbell.me. You'll see a lot of new resources that are coming available or are already available. There's the mentor membership programs. There's a lot of handbooks, workbooks, the Awakening and Healing Handbook. There's the Psychedelic Resource Guide, the Herpes Handbook. There's my book, Angels, Herpes, and Psychedelics. Lots of different things that are available, products that'll help you for your symbols and empowerment to keep your intentions and your desires. I can't wait to see you next week. Please join me live Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And until then, I'm wishing you much bliss and love on the journey.